AGS Ultimage, brought to you by Essential Oils and Essences. Infuse your environment with their natural Reiki and crystal-infused Yogini Girl essential oil sprays to lift the energy of your space and body. Available in 4 unique scents: invigorating citrus and herb bliss, soothing floral calm, intoxicating and sensual love, and classic clearing. Try one today.
Hey Taurus, this is Hal for HES Ultimage, and this is your channeled forecast for the month of December 2015. Hey guys, I do personal readings. They start at $20, so if you want to look into that, it's hesultimage.com, spelled just like the channel, and here we go. Alright, so, first thing for Taurus for December. And I know I'm going to hear a lot of groaning, but there's a great message behind this, so just take it for what it has to be. There are 3 different energies, so you're going to be experiencing like one of the 3. So everybody's going to experience it just a little different, but they're all the same flavor, okay? There was cliffhanger, which has to do with things that are being held up, held in suspension, things that you have to kind of anticipate the outcome and it doesn't quite happen yet. That's what some people are going to get. Other people are going to get slow. Okay, so just the idea of things feeling tedious or feeling like they're dragging on or feeling like they're not happening fast enough. Boy, do I have a message about that coming for you. And then the third energy that people might experience, because again, I think it's really going to be more like one of the 3 for each person. So it's like some of you are going to get cliffhanger, some of you are going to get slow, and some of you are going to get what I call flux, which is either a shift in energy, a little like shaking up of your world. It's pretty much an influence that forces change in your environment, okay? All right, so next bullet point here is, will you participate? You can be upset or complain, and this is a reality, people. I just tell it how it is. Or you can roll with things and just move, go with the flow. And that's really what you have to do. It's like you can look at it however you want to look at it. It's kind of that idea of you can go kicking and screaming, or you can go willingly. It's literally like when somebody's getting apprehended by police, but it's like they can put up a fight or they can go peacefully, but at the end of the day, they're going to the same place, okay? And that's not to say that this month has to be any kind of punishment. I feel like you might look at it as a punishment, but again, that's what the rest of the message is all about here. Okay, moving forward. Realize that you choose how you react. And this is a part of the big picture. All right, so that's the other thing. People never realize, but only in hindsight can understand, that they would never be where they are today had they not gone through exactly everything that they went through before. So, okay, maybe you go through a situation where you lost your job, but, you know, then maybe you wound up going to a social event or a cafe later and wound up meeting the love of your life or something. It's that kind of energy. It's like sometimes something happens that you're not happy about, but it can lead you to something that you're very happy about, and you would have never expected that would happen. And I mean, in December, you're going to be experiencing the latter, where it's like something drags on, or something is being held up in some way and isn't being resolved. Or like something's being taken out of your life or placed into your life that you're just not that pleased with. But at the end of the day, this is it's always contributing to the big picture. Like, that's the other thing. I mean, now I go through by roughly a theory of space-time, and to me, it's about, you know, when we do things like channeling or have instinct and intuition, it's accessing future information in the present. To me, past, present, future, they all operate at the same time. And really, it's present and future really the most important, because there's no point in dwelling in the past once it happened, only to look in hindsight and understand the connections, okay? But that said, it's like, you know, you might have certain expectations of the future, but once you get to the future, then it's like, oh man, I should have totally realized why this happened. Or, oh, this makes total sense now why this happened, because this had to occur to get me to this place. And this is a big part of your message, okay? All right, so moving forward, this is represented in the form of an idea, and it's like, hey, This may have to carry on for a while, you know, if you're going through cliffhanger, if you're going through slow, if you're going through flux, which is accepting more that there's a change happening in your environment. If I stay away from self-doubt or self-undoing, this is the perspective thing, and this is the whole am I going to go kicking and screaming thing, or am I going to go willingly and discover what I have to discover and get to where I have to get to, all right? This is the deciding factor is what I got with that, you know, staying away from self-doubt, self-undoing, self-sabotage, okay? So the idea was, if you want the situation to improve, what you really need to do is just change your perspective on it, or like look towards it as an avenue that's going to get you to exactly where you need to be later, no matter where that place is. All right? Okay, it's a necessity. All of the things we go through are necessities. Yeah, and that's the thing that most people don't understand, and I just want to kind of put out there. Like, it doesn't matter whether we like it or not. It's a part of our line. It's a part of our, you know, okay, call it, you know, space timeline, whatever. That it's like we have to run on it no matter what. So it's like it's going to wind up being useful later. It's going to wind up bringing you to exactly where you need to be. So it's like, do you want to complain about it, or do you want to accept it and be, you know, open to the fact that, oh, this is necessary to bring me to somewhere else, okay? All right, next. Oh, okay, and this is going more off the line that I was talking about, that timeline kind of, future line, whatever you want to call it. Okay, it's very complex, okay? So your decisions always lead to the correct future. Remember that too. Because some people might think they have to push harder. Some people might think they have to scale back and just like, again, be in mourning kind of, or in this place of like dejection. And at the end of the day, okay, ultimately, whatever approach you take is the approach that had to happen. But, you know, having to learn from our experiences is very important, and learning lessons is a very big part of this whole experience that we're living through. You know, sometimes I'll call that line also like your karmic package, if you will, because everybody has these like big lessons we need to learn to enrich and improve our lives and evolve and become who we're meant to be. Um, in this case, though, talking about this other thing, I really think it's about like you might even start overthinking why things are happening the way that they're happening. And you have to just remember everything's happening perfectly, even if it's not the way that we want it or that we see it as good or bad, okay? In reality, there is no such thing as good and bad. There's only such a thing as we create good and bad. And I mean, it's all perspective. But it's like, as far as the series of events from a cosmic perspective, there is no cosmic concept of good and bad. There is only what is. All right? Okay, next. I literally got, you think that the current events, which I'm sure you might not be as pleased about with that slow cliffhanger flux, you think it doesn't matter, but it does. This is true always, okay? No matter what happens to us, it winds up contributing to a much bigger picture. So keep that in mind this month of December when you're going through this kind of either holding period, suspension period, waiting game, or, you know, or in the latter of those energies, the one with flux, change game, really, change of environment, change of scenario, whether that's something being added and shaking things up or being taken away and shaking things up. Okay, next. Opportunity is a process, so we must participate to get from point A to point B. This is a really big one, guys, and I knew this from the beginning of the reading, but I wanted to go through the whole process before I brought it up. This is about, you can say life is unfair as much as you want. You can say, well, I give up and I don't want to participate because life sucks and the universe hates me. It's not going to change anything. You need to just persevere and move forward with your path, understanding that every little element being placed before you, every triumph that you feel, and every failure that you feel, every happy thing that happens that you feel it's happy, or everything that's sad that happens that you feel is sad, all of it contributes to the big picture of who you become and where you're meant to be. Okay? So it's not about, you know, going that, okay, I literally got, if we feel sulky about life or depressed about life, and don't want to participate and just want to like cross our arms and be like, screw you, life, I'm done with you. Like it's like a friend you're gonna break up with. Um, you don't grow and you don't evolve. And life is all about growth and evolution, okay? No matter what. Like, I understand that in our lives, we have certain things that we have to do to survive, like have resources, have certain jobs or careers, etc. But you can always choose to grow within that time. Whether that's making yourself a better person, doing more of what you want out of life, and to experience more of what you want out of life. So even when you're thrown certain curveballs here, the whole point is that you're supposed to keep moving and keep engaging, okay? Because that's the other major one. Keep engaging in life. Because I feel like this month for December, you're going to feel like disengaging because you're like, this is taking too long. Why won't this thing happen or finish or complete itself? Why did this thing have to come in and screw up my thing I had going on? Or why was this taken away from me and now I feel confused? It's like, it's just one little piece of a much bigger picture. And again, with that growth in particular and evolution being your focus and that idea of wanting to like abstain and go, haha, life, I'm gonna stop living you because I'm going on strike. Yeah. Like, it's like going on strike from life. It's just like, okay, I'm just going to stop trying or stop living, you know? Never stop doing that. Never stop living and trying just because for a second things aren't necessarily in your ballpark or going the way you want them to. Because that's the other thing. Again, it's all perspective. People, okay, this is another mass misconception. People think that people get punished for stuff and that people are like being punished for past life stuff or punished for things they're doing now. And it's like, it's not even there. It's all perspective. There is no such thing as the universe punishing people or rewarding people. It's literally just where are we being brought to in this timeline to have these experiences to contribute to what we already will experience as the future scenarios. All right, moving forward. Getting super metaphysical on you guys, but I hope you're following that. Because again, it's big concepts, but with big payoffs, understanding. All right, last one here. Well, last set, if you will, because it's a big set. Lightening up will help you get by. Being overwhelmed or dramatic will make you suffer. Okay, so in December, have a really more relaxed, easy way of looking at when things aren't quite going as fast as you want or when elements aren't coming together the way you want. Because that's what's happening with flux. Elements are coming in or going out that you're just not pleased with. It's not about it being a horrible month by any means. It's just about, like, I think you're going to nitpick that, oh, this is, my life's bad now because of this thing that most people might not even see as big as it is. Yeah, and like, some people might see it as something bigger, but at the end of the day, these do feel like, yeah, nuisance things. Because again, slow, cliffhanger, flux, these are things that it feels like they're more perception and perspective things for you. And that's where the big lesson is, all right? But again, and if you're going to go about it by going like stomping around and like, I'm thinking of like the tantrum that Isla Fisher does in Wedding Crashers when they won't let the guys come spend the weekend with them or whatever. Like that kind of like childlike tantrum that occurs. You're like stomping around and blowing smoke and stuff. It's not necessary. It's never necessary. All right? Like you get to choose your reaction. You don't have to take that route. Okay, here's the other thing. Okay, so enjoy the ride. Okay? Being a student of life, growing, learning, experiencing things, evolving, changing, learning through change for those of you going through the flux energy, learning through being, okay, let's say events being prolonged, or growth being prolonged, or progress being prolonged. All of that is contributing to growth, okay? Whether you realize it or not. Because then in hindsight, you go back, you look at things, and you go, oh, damn it, I couldn't be here if I hadn't gone through these things. So now the only way I could see it is that that's what happened, and that's the only way I got there. All right. Okay. And that's the whole point, okay? All right. And then just for the humor of the month, this is literally what I got. So let's keep it casual this month. And I literally got Fonzie from Happy Days going, hey! Alright? So that's the mentality you want for December. You want to just be like, everything's cool. It's like when they have those like parodies of hipsters and they're like, hey man, mellow out. It's like that's the energy now. So it's like you gotta be. God, I'm thinking of Pulp Fiction now, where they're like, okay, we're all gonna be Fonzies, and what's Fonzie like? He's cool? Cool, yeah! Alright? So take that for what it is, and take that and use that to your advantage, because being a lot cooler and more casual about the events that are unfolding, maybe to your chagrin this month, are not as critical as they need to be, and you don't have to react as critically as you may want to. All right, okay, so that said, I do personal readings. If you want one, go to hesultimage.com, and I will see you later.